All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Twilley. I'm the director of the Women's Business Center here at Maryland Capital Enterprises. I apologize for my camera having some issues today, but we must go on with the show. So anyway, we are glad to welcome Jessica Koch here today to present LinkedIn for Intermediate Users. I normally go in and talk about a little bit about MCE and the Women's Business Center, but I know all of our guests on here so far already know about us and are involved with us somehow. So we'll just go ahead and get started, Jessica.
Okay, so you don't want to do the standard intro for the center or anything and how wonderful you guys are? Because I know you are pretty wonderful, helping everybody out with all of the things, including potential funding and classes and an annual conference every year and all the things, right?
We are, and I was thinking I'd say something maybe at the end, and when we have some more people on, that way they don't have to hear it twice.
All right. Well, I'm Jessica Koch, and I have been speaking nationally for about 25 years and internationally before, and it was my pleasure to be a speaker at this past women's annual conference, which was a lot of fun. And I have been doing, my sales and marketing firm has been around for about 7 years now. We do sales and marketing, consulting, LinkedIn and social media training, and we have a virtual assistant membership program. So lots of different things that our company provides. And today we're going to dive a bit deeper into LinkedIn. So let me just go ahead and don't waste time, and away we go. Let's see. Share my screen. The modern world of technology. Everybody give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen. All right, we got some thumbs, yay. So this is a class that you wrangled yourself in for today. This is what you signed up for. So we're gonna go over some of the basics just really quickly because I like to make sure everyone at least knows a little bit about that. And then we're gonna talk about some of the more advanced features and actually things that you can be doing daily and weekly. And actually, I even have like a quarterly suggestion and some other things for LinkedIn to keep things rolling well. So step one, I would love it if everyone on the call would connect with me. And if you're watching the video, here's my LinkedIn URL. If you go directly to that, it's like a micro website just for me, built on LinkedIn. I'm going to stick it in the chat now. And if you're not already connected with me, I would welcome you to do so if you so felt like doing it. So do what floats your boat. So this is me, and we're going to just get started like right away. So first things first. Oh, I don't know. I think I might have heard an echo, so I'm going to mute somebody. So Lisa, I think I muted you. Okay, so I'm going to, and please feel free to unmute and ask questions and talk to me. I just muted people so there isn't an echo for the sake of the recording, because I don't know about you, but that drives my brain a little batsy. So when we're talking about the basics, make sure you have a backdrop. I actually put this backdrop up for coming out to see the people for the annual conference. I need to change it back, but that is the bridge I cross in order to see my people and my friends on the Eastern Shore. So I will change that back to my standard banner, but you can make these inside Canva. I'm not going to show you how to do that today. That's in some of our basic classes that we've done before with Lisa and them. And so you can ask Marvin or Lisa how to get your hands on that. I'm going to refresh my screen because some of the more advanced things that if you're going to someone's LinkedIn profile and they have a more advanced profile, you're going to see things like, here it comes, hang on, wait for it. See, watch my face. There's a video in there. So there's a video behind the profile headshot. And when people click on that, they can view the video. If you click the right thing, they can view the video. Hi, I'm Jessica Koch, and it plays a short commercial so that you have an opportunity to introduce yourself. Now, to set this up, you're going to need to go, first of all, you'll need to have the app on your phone, right? And so you have to do this video from your phone. The other thing that is, some say yes, some say no. For me, I did it this way and it worked. And some people say you don't need to, but I turn my creator mode on for that. Some people think the creator mode on is a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. It's everyone has a preference. I leave it on because I also run LinkedIn Lives. And to use these features, you need to have the creator mode on. So go to your profile, turn the creator mode on, then go to your phone and you should have an option to record the video there behind your profile picture in the app itself. Matter of fact, let me just tell you if there's something special you need to click. Let's see, view profile. I'm going to click my picture. Yeah, then I can view or edit my video. So all I have to do is go to my profile on my phone app and then touch my face on my profile picture, and the option comes up to add a frame, to view or edit my profile video or a photo or video. Okay, but you can't actually do it from the desktop, the video piece. That's what I wanted to make clear. The next piece that's a little bit fancy dancy that you don't see on everybody's profile is this little microphone next to the name here. This was put here because not everyone's name is easy to pronounce. Melissa Giesland, I'm guessing. Giesland, did I get it right? Yay, I got it right. But it may not be easy. And a lot of people, even with 4 letters in my name, believe it or not, lots of people don't know how to pronounce it. It could be Coke, Cook, Cock. You know, it comes up with all these things. It's Koch, like Scotch. So.
Hi, I'm Jessica Koch. I will help you grow your profits from seed to orchard. Sell more, spend less, and check out my virtual assistant program.
So the purpose for playing that for you is, and did you guys hear the sound? Were you able to hear the sound? Yes. Okay. Is because I want you to use that to get your pronunciation correct. But I mean, you got real estate, prime real estate there. Go ahead and tell something about you from an audio standpoint while you're at it, right? There's something else here, a feature I am not taking advantage of purposely because I wanted to show you. But I went to my website and I snagged one of my favorite products that I like to sell. Okay, I have a class on teaching people how to get their own virtual assistant. And one of the things you can have here, right? So this is your top card. So this is your first impression, right? And this is the advanced stuff people miss in the first impression. So the other thing you want to have there, you might want to just put your website. For me, I want to lead them right to what I want them to buy, right? They can go explore the rest of my website later, but let me send them right to my favorite thing to sell. Oh, that's not it. It is, see if okay, there it is. Okay, save. All right, so now on my top card, so what I did was I clicked the pencil here. If you didn't see my fancy dancy fast moving clicker, I clicked this little pencil and that came up with a website. And see this, so now in my contact information, I have lots of other stuff, right? I have my LinkedIn profile, I have the shop website up so you can see all my products, and then I have my YouTube channel and some other things, right? You can add a lot more websites here now than you used to be able to, but they actually let you feature one right here. And I love that the product name is right there for you, so you know exactly what it is and it's clickable. So that's something you want to take advantage of. The contact info, this little button here, is also edited by this button. It's a form inside a form and it gets missed a lot. So it's a form inside a form. So I'm going to show you that quickly, and then we're not going to spend too much more time on kind of the basics, as we are still in the world of the basics here. So that is in this button. So inside here is how you edit the contact information form. So you're going to edit, you're going to click that button. See what it says? It's a form inside a form. So we clicked the pencil and then we had to click something else inside there in order to get to this space, right? And the really cool thing is, I'm not even sure how many websites you can add at this point. I mean, it used to be 3, but OMG, look at that. Holy cow, Batman. You can add a whole lot of websites into your profile now. And websites are anything that are a unique URL address to you. So that can be other social platforms, that can be any place, that landing pages you built, free gifts you built, your calendar link, like go nuts, go crazy. Add some websites, okay, for people to be able to find and reach you. And don't be limited to the thought of just post websites, and I need to do the same. I need to add my calendar link and all kinds of things here to grow this out, because it's time to update my profile, which is something I would recommend you do probably quarterly, right? Or even if you're really ambitious and have the time, once a month. Okay, so other things that are more advanced on a profile overall are things like the featured section. If you don't have a section that I'm showing you, here's an important exercise to do, especially if you really want to feel like you're playing in the advanced field, is go to this. So here's what you'll notice. If I'm all the way at the top, I only have this one horizontal toolbar, right? Of course, I have a million other things with LinkedIn here trying to be in my way. But I have this one horizontal toolbar. But if I scroll down a smidgen, and yes, that's a technical term, a smidgen, you get the second toolbar where it says more and all these other buttons, right? You want to look at this open add profile section, and then you want to go through each and every one of these sections and make sure that you have all the things you want to have, okay? So that you're able to feel like you have all the sections that that someone who's really using this at an advanced level has. So then once you do have it, then you can add many, many things. And the nice thing is, if someone is interested and you wants to see them all, they can click this page itself, and then it leads you to all these different things, right? It's my speaker sheets, it's some of my presentations, it's written letters of reference about me, a LinkedIn checklist that I share with people, you know, just different things that you want to gift to your following or have them know about you. Is a good place for this featured section, because again, we're near the top, right? It's all about scrolling. How far are you scrollable? So they got past here and they thought, okay, maybe she's interesting. Then they got to here and they go, oh, well, what are these things about her? And, you know, and then here's all the stuff I'm posting, which are a lot of I do a lot of interviewing and LinkedIn Lives, and I feature people. And then here's my about section, and then it gets into my experience. So one of the other things I would challenge you to do is make sure that you are really using all the characters. Like this is a 2000 character space, and each one of these sections, believe it or not, within these sections are 2000 character space, and it does feel overwhelming. It can feel like it's hard to fill up those spaces, but as one of our attendees, Michael, mentioned earlier, artificial intelligence is your friend, and filling out those characters is going to become easier and faster than ever before, because now we'll have the tools and the assistance of artificial intelligence. But just go through and make sure you have all your sections. That's like a super important thing. All right, so now that being said, a company page. A company page is another thing a lot of people don't have. So if you're self-employed and you own your own company, adding a company page is key. And you can see here that my company page has a logo and it shows up here. Now, if you work for someone else, then you need to link yourself to their company page, and you do not have the right to make a company page for a company you do not own, right? That's like a legality thing. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just telling you that you should probably check with whoever owns the business, and they should be the one to set up the company page, okay? So now if I click on this button, because my profile page is linked to my company page, if that makes sense to you, because of how this is done. Now, sometimes people make a company page and their company page and their profile are not linked, and I'm going to show you why that happens. So when I click on this, it does take me right over to my company page. Now it views it as me, so the person that is the admin in an edit format. Now I can view it as someone who came to my page. So now I'm viewing it as the world sees me, right? With the about and with the other different posts and things that we have going on here. Now, to create this, let's go back. And back again. to create this, we're going to come up here in these 9 little dots, and we're going to click that button. And I have to move our happy faces again. And then we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. We're going to add a company, create a company page here. Now, I want to show you something to know for sure. Here's something that's happened. It's a glitch in the software. Teach and train on something enough and you find all the bugs. Sometimes you go through the process and you've started and you think you created a company page, or it tells you, oh, that name's already taken. And then you go and try to make a new name, and you try to make a new name and try to make a new name. Well, that's bad, because sometimes it's saving the name as you. And once you've created a company page on LinkedIn, you can manage the page, but you don't actually own the page. Remember, we do not own this platform or software, right? LinkedIn will not let you delete a company page. They don't care if you died and the company is bankrupt and upside down on its head like a turtle. They only care that your story, someone else's story, can be connected to that company page. So they won't take the company page down, because there's a potential that it's part of the journey story of an employee. Even now, as the manager and owner of the company, you can put, thanks for all the years of supporting us. We love our customers. We've retired. We're on a beach in Tahiti. See ya. We wish you a good life, and that can be what's on the company page. But then if someone worked for you 20 years ago and they have you on their LinkedIn as part of their journey, that's going to be connected to they're going to be connected to your company page, if that makes sense to you. So you want to make sure that this actually happened to somebody that came to me like, oh my God, I know how to fix this, because reaching God is easier than reaching LinkedIn tech support, right? So you can get a personal one-on-one and God on the phone faster than you're going to get anyone on LinkedIn to answer your questions. That's been my experience. I could be wrong, and I don't want to say anything unkind about LinkedIn. I love them for a lot of other reasons, but let's just talk about facts, right? And so she had a really hard time reaching them to remove the ones she accidentally made. And so what I'm going to tell you is, when you make one and it gives you the message that name's already taken, close out of the system, refresh everything, go back, come to this tab. So that long story was to get you to where we are now. I hope you enjoyed the ride. You're going to click your face and then scroll down to the bottom here, and it says you manage. So if you manage it, then it exists. Okay, so it is now a company page, right? And here my company page is. And so I can get to my company page this way, as well as hyper clicking that happy little logo button that was in my experience section, which is how I got you there the first time. So there's always more than one way to get somewhere also in this process. Now, I am going to take you into this page for just a hot second. So if you're an educational institution, you can make that kind of page. A showcase page is a sub page. It's interesting because they still kind of stand alone, and I don't even see where on my profile or on my company page they connect, because I've created a showcase page before. It's sort of like I would make a showcase to showcase one of my membership programs, or my coaching programs, or my podcast, or something like that. It's a page, I guess, under my company, but again, seeing where they all connect the dots, it cracks me up, because LinkedIn doesn't always show that well. It also doesn't give me a place, which I find fascinating and interesting. We're going to talk about events in a minute. It doesn't give me a place to click my past events or whatever. It's really difficult to find them. They make it a little bit of a scavenger hunt. It's kind of funny to me. But anyway, if you're a small business and you actually own your business, and in my opinion, again, talk to an attorney, because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not giving you legal advice, but go and talk. I believe it would be a good idea, but talk to an attorney to confirm, to have an LLC or actually be registered with the state of wherever you're doing business, and actually have an EIN number and set things that, and be a business before you come in and make a company page, right? That's just you know, I think the best way to move forward. Now, you're going to add your company name. You're going to, I mean, it's all a basic form. I can't actually go all the way through the process here with you because it goes beyond this. And then if I fill it in, go beyond this, then I'm actually creating a company page. And yeah, I just told you how challenging it is to remove that. So I'm not going to do that because I'm smarter than that. But you're going to put this information in, and it's just all basic information, and add your logo. Now the logo is tricky. 300 by 300 is what it says. Does that always work perfectly? I'm going to tell you no, because that's the truth of the story. So you have to play with it. Canva is your friend. Resize things till they look right. A tagline, they give you 120 characters to create a company tagline. That's a really long tagline, but you know, I have one, and I think they're good. So, you know, talk with your friends. That's a great engagement post. Hey, I'm creating a tagline. Here's the 3 I thought of. Vote for me. Tell me which one you like the best. So if you don't have one, you know, go get one and get some social media fun and engagement while you're at it, right? Create a post around it and do that too. And then see this, I verify that I'm the person that is allowed to do this is kind of a thing, and it's connected to terms and conditions, and those are like 5 million pages long, and only lawyers can decipher them. There's a secret language and code, so enter at your own risk is what I'm going to tell you. So that's my journey on a company page. I thought it was important to share with you the value of a company page. Now you can make posts on a company page. You can actually create an event on a company page. A company page is not a group though. You should also, in my opinion, groups are really powerful. Groups are where you actually have more engagement with your audience, and people can follow your company page. They can read your posts, which is lovely. But having a group is a place where you really pull together that like-minded avatar of who is your client, and creating a group can be really powerful. I am going to get to that, but I want to cover a couple of other things first. So we're going to go to the home page, and we are going to. So here is events. And so you can hit the plus sign here to create an event. So we're going to talk about events for a few minutes, and we'll go back to groups. So it is sort of self-explanatory. Again, you're going to add, you know, 480 pixels, you know, the measurements and sizing they give you as suggestions just is a little bit comical. So just learn to play with the sizing in Canva. It's your friend. Okay, so online and in person is some of your options. This is a fun one. I just ran a test on this. So LinkedIn is sort of kind of jumping on the Clubhouse bandwagon. I meant to get Lisa's and Marvin's permission because we could jump on and do a live right now as audio only, right? And it's a fascinating thing. I couldn't believe how many people jumped on the audio right away. I do live videos all the time, and I'm going to show you my process to do a LinkedIn Live also. But that was really fascinating to me. Then you can just give it an external link. So if you want to do it on a Zoom, or you can use some integration tools. And I'm going to show you the integration tool I use for LinkedIn as well. You set a date and a time. Now, here's an interesting piece of information. If you're smart, and I am, and I use a virtual assistant to set up my events for me, one of the things they have to do both for Facebook and LinkedIn when creating events on my behalf is they have to set their computer. First, they have to use a VPN that points to the United States, and then they have to set their computer to the actual same time zone as me, their actual computer, not, you know, because my LinkedIn's already set to Eastern time. But if they do it, technology and artificial intelligence thinks it's so darn smart, it just switches it to the time of the person who set it, and somehow that interfaces with their computer. How all that works, I do not know, but it's a little creepy. But they have to set their computer and change it, and I think that's fascinating to know because it can be very frustrating to unchange it. Now, 5,000 words on the description of your event, and you're laughing, right? You're like, when am I going to sit down and write 5,000 words on the description of my event, right? Or 5,000 characters. And we're going to use ChatGPT to play with some of that too, because some of the things I'm also going to show you about, as well as LinkedIn Lives, is also a quick run through article creation here. It's interesting. I was in, so I network globally, and I was in one in Dublin. Almost everybody was from Dublin or London or the Scotland area. So I was in highly UK, a few Australians, and the one LinkedIn expert said, "Oh, don't bother writing articles because no one's ever going to read them." And I found that fascinating because I use articles often in these kinds of classes, and I use that as a link that I can share with the audience. And because I do that, people do read them and they share them and they comment on them and they do a lot with them. So it's not about whether people are going to read your articles. It's like, what are you doing to promote your articles, to be a useful tool to the community that's following you, that really makes an impact, and whether those are valuable or not, right? So I will be showing you that as well. So anyway, you consider using an artificial intelligence tool to help write your content so that you are filling up. And why do you want to do that? It's because one of my friends, I can't even remember which one. Oh, I do remember. Patty Grover said to me, we want to feed the beast, right? Feed the Google beast. So you got to make as much Google food as possible so that you can be found out there in all the noise and in all the chaos of the world, right? So you got to make your Google food. So whenever they give you space for characters, which is why I've stopped so long on this description piece here, is because you want to make sure you're leveraging any places where you get a chance to do Google food. Now, here's an interesting thing. So if, well, you know what? I already know Michael is connected to me. If Michael and I, if I could spell his name, don't judge me. If Michael and I decided, oh, see, Michael, you should come up. Did I spell it wrong?
It might be listed as Mike, M-I-K-E, maybe.
Okay, well, H.
There you are. There you are. Oh, there I am. M-I-K-E.
Okay.
There I am.
So if Michael and I were going to do an event together, I could add him as one of the speakers. Like, how cool is that, right? I just think that's cool. So I added Michael. Now, so making an event is easy, and yeah, we're going to discard it. We don't actually want it to do it. So groups. So I have
Jessica,
yes.
could you give us an example of what you might ask, for AI to write that description of that event? What would you ask
So,
ChatGPT to write?
so
And
I
how
did,
would you pose the question or command?
so I'll jump ahead because I'll share with you the secrets to what we're doing early with articles. So I decided we were going to do an article on, I told it to write an original article about how to mindset affects your ability to increase your revenue and how we stand in our own way with money blocks, right? And this was the answer I got. And so I'll show you that some more too. But if I was doing an event, right? What was it? 5, let's see, comma, 5,000 character. No, someone spelled character. No one's going to help me. You're going to watch me. Did I spell it right? 5,000 character. Is that correct? Marvin, did I get it? We're a 5,000 character description.
Sorry, I was trying to help you, but I realized I was on mute.
I'm like, everyone's just laughing at me. They're just watching me flounder. I can't spell anything. Right, a 5,000 character description on the benefit of attending. I'll fix it in a minute. Of attending my business. So I'm going to do a business networking event, right? My business speed networking event. So
Okay.
whatever your event is, I would give it the characters. Now, I've heard ChatGPT can't count very well and that it's math sucks. So I would then take the description and drop it into a Word doc and count the characters, and then take it over to then I would take it over to LinkedIn and drop it into the description, right? So it's kind of 3 little steps here that you would do, and away it goes. There you go. So it depends on what your event is. I would just say if you had an event on, mindset or money growth or using artificial intelligence, ask it to write it so that it's going to fill that space with all of the characters you want filled. Now you're going to want to edit this and squeeze yourself some in for contact information or the link you want to provide or whatever else, but that was pretty darn good, don't you think? Whammo bammo, right in front of our amazing little eyes there. So, okay. So then I'm going to go to, I did want to also show you groups. Okay, so in the world of groups, I told you how important groups were, right? And then we come over here, you can create a group, but groups is something, so there's 3 main things that are actions that I would be doing inside, well, that I do and make my business money on a regular basis inside LinkedIn on the regular, right? There's a couple of things. So 1 is notifications, 2 is invitations, 3 is messages, 4 is groups, and 5 is events. So those are probably the top 5 things that are actions that you can take on a regular basis once you get yourself all situated and professional and you're at the next level of using LinkedIn, is doing those kinds of actions. All right, so these are the groups. It says your groups, which is deceiving because these are groups I'm a member of. But one of these groups in here, like a scavenger hunt, is a group that I actually created. That is actually my group. Now, these groups over here are ones I've requested, which it looks like I've met my limit number. So if we limit your total number of pending requests to learn more. So I might need to like remove some that I'm not using. I think it's like 100 that you can be in yeah, because there's like at least 100 groups here that I don't need to be in anymore that I could remove so that I could then start asking and making requests for more groups, right? So groups are really, really powerful, and I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why. 1, having your audience in a way that it's a more intimate space for your personal audience. That's one reason you want to spend the time to do a group on here. And remember that you don't own these platforms. So having your members, your followers, whether they're on a LinkedIn group or a Facebook group, you still need your own membership site, membership platform. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze is what I was going to say, but that didn't happen. If you've built a large community and a following on Facebook and LinkedIn, that's great. And that's part of how you pull them off those platforms and into your world where you have ownership of the platform. So your website or a membership platform that you pay for that you essentially own is where you want to move these people to. So people are like, oh, well, I've spent so much time building my Facebook group and following, and I've got 5,000 there and yada, yada. And that's all great. And you know what? Almost who cares? Because you still need them in your own membership platform and portal so that you can truly pull them into your own world. And the same thing goes for LinkedIn. Like I would let the Facebook people know that, hey, if you're on LinkedIn too, I've got a group over there. And it's different. It's a little bit of a different audience. So if you want to come play with us over there too, you can. And the same thing on LinkedIn. I would say the same thing, right? Because not all Facebook people are LinkedIn people, and not all LinkedIn people are Facebook people, right? For that reason, you kind of want to have them both places, because then ultimately you want to funnel them down into your own place, right? Your own site, your own platform. Because I'm going to say it a million times, you do not own LinkedIn, right? So that's one thing, is this is going to potentially lead. Now, the other thing that's important, because one of the other things I talked to you about was invitations to connect and messaging. Okay, that's something. These are the 5 main things, that actions that you really, I mean, these are some of the hottest things you can do in order to, excuse me, I'm going to just get a sip of water. In order to grow true relationships that convert from connections to clients, which is why you're spending the time and energy on here, is to see, do you have a collaboration? Can you help them in some way? Is there a joint venture opportunity, or are they potentially a customer for you, or a referral partner for you, or you for them, vice versa, right? So, it doesn't matter really which group I choose. Let me see. Let me just pick a. Okay. I work with a lot of financial officers in my line of work, and what I've done over the years. So I'm part of this group. First of all, when you're in the group, make sure that you follow the About Us rules, right? And make sure that you know, just have good etiquette, be a good neighbor, be a good neighbor in their neighborhood, right? This is their neighborhood, their space, play politely. But the other thing you can do is go to the, see, it says, I mean, that's a lot of members, right? 462,739 members. Holy smokes, Batman. And then we're going to go to show the members. Well, none of these people am I connected to, right? And so if they're a person that looks like someone, I wonder if I put in the word, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to see live. If I put in the word speaker, oh, look, see, so I work with a lot of speakers. And so some of these people, like a global leader of field small business murders and acquisition, I don't feel like totally, oh, Canadian recruiter, she's awesome. I'm going to look for someone somebody was a TEDx speaker. Yeah, so the TEDx speaker might be a great person for me. I'm not connected to her. I would message her to say, hey, we're both in a CFO group here on LinkedIn. We're not currently connected, but I'm going to send you an invitation to connect. I can message her with no in-mail, with no cost. All the things I'm showing you, by the way, all the free platform. I do not use the paid platform. When you're in the same group, this is why this is important. You can strategically grow your connections and strategically message people, even if you're not connected to them, for free. One of these days, LinkedIn's going to catch on to that, and it's not going to be the case anymore. But right now it is, and bask in the glory of it all, and use and take advantage of that. And just, you know, I would politely reach out and say, hey, I have a podcast. I see you're a TEDx speaker. I would love to feature you on my podcast. Hopefully you'll reply to my connection request. Have a great day. Like, don't be salesy. Don't try to sell them your vacuum cleaner, you know, here on the first message. Even though I'm sure your vacuum cleaner is lovely. We want to still build a relationship, show value, show reciprocity, be professional. You could do something, if you don't have a podcast, do something along the lines of, I would love to see if we have some synergy or an opportunity to collaborate more. If you're open to that, I've sent you an invitation to connect. And if you accept my connection request, I'll message you my calendar link, or you can share with me yours so that we can try to chat briefly and get to know each other better. You know, just very easygoing, very, very kind, professional, not salesy. But this is one of the reasons that groups is so very important. One, if you're making your own group so that you can nurture and grow that community. And two, then grow your connections and move to that space where you're getting off and you're booking a calendar link and you're having a virtual conversation and seeing, you know, how you might work together. And, you know, they could potentially be your customers or your referral partner or know someone that, you know, whatever. So it's really good to go that direction. All right, so notifications is another important one that I feel like is awesome to stay on top of, because when you can come in here and tell people happy birthday, one of the things is that it moves them, maybe you had a conversation before, but it moves them back to, you move back to the top of their to the top of their folder in their messaging system, right? It's almost like getting at the top of their inbox again. And, you know, it just takes a second. And I love those silly little gifts. And it gives you a chance to nurture some of the connections you already have. So notifications we talked about, invitations to connect, a really strategic, try to be strategic on your invitations to connect. And LinkedIn does help you with that. So I tend to accept all the people that come in because I'm just so nice like that. But here's people that, look, they tell me who Nancy knows, and then they recommend people for me. And, you know, here's the kind of nice thing is it can tell you, it can also tell you how many connections you have in common. And, you know, I don't use just this. I actually use a lot the groups so I'm very strategic about who I want to connect with. And then also, if you go through here, for example, let me find you a great example. Dun, da, da, da. This is one of my superpowers of making sure you're connecting strategically. If you go through your feed and you happen to see someone, and I don't yet because, okay, so I am connected directly to Sparkle. So Sparkle's here and she's a first connection to me. Well, she shared this post for Jennifer. Now, if Jennifer happened to be a speaker and seemed to be someone I really wanted to connect with, then I could click on Jennifer's profile here, and then I could reach out to connect her and say, my friend Sparkle, who I'm connected with, shared your post, and it looks like we may have some opportunities to support and help each other. I'm also interested in whatever, you know, whatever that is, whatever the industry or topic is. So let's connect, right? Like, you're not proposing marriage, so it doesn't have to be a real long invitation, right? It can be super short. You just want to get to that next space, right? So, so we talked about groups and how to make a group and why groups are important. We talked a little bit about events and how to make events. Now, you'll see on my profile, well, let's talk about articles for a minute, and then we'll go into the world of live, because I know we're running out of time too already. All right, so from here you can write an article. A couple of quick tips on writing articles is you're going to want, you know, a good headline. And I know you can use ChatGPT, but I'm a big fan of this particular headline generator. And I'll tell you why. Because I would have to ask ChatGPT 1,000,001 questions in order to get the amount of results I get from one. All I did was put the word sales in. And now I want to write an article about sales, let's say. And you know what? I can change it. I can change it because our article is actually about mindset, right? The one I had it right. So mindset. Maybe I'll even put money mindset. Money mindset. All right. So submit. The reason I like this is because it's going to give me, I mean, I could tell ChatGPT to give me, you know, 4 or 5 different categories of different kinds of lists, and, you know, and make them funny or make them creative. And I could tell it to do all that, but this system just does it already. So it gives me, I wish it would scroll. Give me a moment. It's not scrolling well, but it gives you a how-to section. It gives you lists of things. So it gives you like the list style that could be 3, 5. You could change that number, right? 9, 12, whatever. But it gives you lists. It gives you how-to. It gives you questions. It gives you love. It gives you ones that include maybe not appropriate for this audience. It gives you celebrities. It gives you secrets. It gives you snarky. It gives you business. It gives you, you know how many questions I would have to ask ChatGPT in order to get this many results for a headline generator? It's a lot of questions. My brain hurts. I don't want to think that hard. That's the whole point of using tools like this. So I still believe that this is a really great resource, even though the big brother ChatGPT has moved into the world. Someone says they can't unmute their phone. Who wants to unmute their phone? Is it Lisa? Let me see if I can find her phone. Ask to unmute. Does it work now? Haha.
Hey, that was from earlier when you were talking about the spelling. I couldn't get unmuted to tell you.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're good.
So that's that. So where am I? Okay. So the headline generator, okay, Pixabay. So I always like to, there's lots of tools like this, but just be careful that you're reading. Lisa, can you mute again, honey, just so that we don't get feedback unless you have a question. Pixabay is a great place to get free images. Now you want to be careful that when you choose a place, because there's lots of places that you can get images for your blogs, you want to make sure that you're choosing a place that you're taking a look at the licensing. Again, I'm not your lawyer or your mama or any of those things, but I'm going to tell you to try to do good business and pay attention to the rules. And if you go, I've actually gone in and read their actual terms and conditions, and it is free for commercial use, like websites and posting and content and all those things. Now, if they change it, they could change it tomorrow. They have the right to do so. Then that won't be the case anymore. And you got to be a big grown-up person and a big business person and go and check on these things on the regular, because you can't have stuff out there that isn't, that you don't have ownership of in the right way. And then using, like I showed you, this amazing tool, and then going ahead and now here's what I'm going to tell you. It's my policy, and you can make your own, to take this, and then I'm still going to change each paragraph a smidgen. I'm going to put my personal stamp on it and move some things around and change some things, because the chances that someone asks my exact question in the same exact way that I did is, rare, but it's still out there. And this is a tool, and it's also pulling from what it finds on the internet. And I don't know that all of this I own and have the rights to. So I am uncomfortable putting that I wrote an article about something without actually editing it down and making it more my own voice and more me. And that makes me feel like I keep myself out of the trouble of chance of someone saying, write a funny article about sales. The chances someone else would write that same thing to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, write a funny article about sales, is pretty high. And I don't want to be putting out the same thing that someone else is putting out, because we're both using this amazing tool. So there is something to think about for down the road, right? You don't want to do that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I wanted to show you and we didn't get to them yet. Yeah. All right. So the other thing I wanted to show you that's really fascinating, interesting, and in connection with our article, here's another way I would go about to making it my own. I'm going to copy this. Did I copy it? Copy this. We're running out of time. Could someone slow the clock down, please? I didn't talk as crazy and fast as I usually do. What is going on here? All right. So the other thing that I do is I use this amazing tool, and I will give you a link for this because I do have an affiliate link, and it's just nice to use people's affiliate links when they tell you about things. But I drop this in here, and then I have it decode it. and and this is the voice that was written in, right? So what I want to know is, because I'm a very high nurturer, I want to make sure I'm up there with the nurturing, but I see that I kind of left the world of knowledge people out of the game. So I might reword that to have some more science facts, credentials, stats, and backing, so that I can raise my knowledge bracket some, right? And so that I can make sure it's true to my voice, but also speaking to different personality types and not just my own, because we often write highly in our own personality type, right? Which is to be expected, and not a bad thing either. So here's my link for that world, and I would show you more, but there isn't time because there's other things I want to show you. The other thing I'll show you quickly before I move into live streaming, because I'm sure you want to know how to do that, is My Most Trusted. This is a free Google Chrome app that allows me to better track my, let's see, not this profile. Let's do Michael. We'll add you. Oh, was it Mike, right? So you end up with a lot of connections on LinkedIn, right? And so let's see, I trust this person. So now you'll be added, and let's see, business networking is probably how I know him. And then I can make any other notes. CE LinkedIn class. And then now I have a better way of kind of tracking and organizing, but again, you don't own any of these tools, right? So, you know, you want to make sure that you're also, one of the other things I tell my clients to do is to make sure that you are backing up your data. Okay, so I'm going to show you really fast how to do that, and then I'm going to show you even faster how to live stream so that we can get to all that. But you're going to go to My Network Connections. You need to do this every quarter. I have it on my calendar to remind me every quarter. Then you go to this little gray spot here that says Manage Synced and Imported Contacts. It's not intuitive, so don't feel bad if you didn't know how to do this. You can probably also go through a setting. Like I said, there's lots of ways to do more than one thing here in the world of LinkedIn. But this is, anyway, then you're going to go to Export Contacts. And then you're going to want the whole enchilada, because a lot of you probably have never done this before, but it gives you your articles, your messages, your profile data, you know, all those kinds of things. So you're going to request the archive, and then you're going to have to come back here in a bit and check. Now, the other thing that happens is they can email you, but you really need to watch for it, because this message will self-destruct. It is a time-sensitive folder. Sometimes it comes in multiple zip folders, and you want to save that on an external hard drive as well as on a cloud base, because that's just, I feel like, the safest thing to do. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do a live, and you're probably going to need more information, so don't panic. All right, so one of the ways to know, a lot of people have live now and they don't realize it. They go like, oh, I don't have that. Well, you might. It used to show you over here that you did have live, but now it doesn't show it anymore. So what you end up having to do is this. You have to go into a tool, and I'm going to share with you the link of my favorite one. What's this here? Copy. I'm going to share a couple of tools with you because they're how I do this smoothly. You want it to be easy. You want it to be an easy experience for yourself and for your customer, right? Especially if you're customer, but your guest on LinkedIn Live. I'm going to wrap this up fast. I know I got to show you quickly. This is the other link you need, because it's the other tool I use. You can set up a free account on this Be Connected space, and then you'll get access to a a streaming connection tool that connects with Restream that works beautifully. So I log into my Restream account. These are the steps I take in order to, and I've had to link that and interface that in with this Meet and Be Connected edition. Okay, you get it free if you set up the free account for Be Connected. You get this meeting platform software. And then when I do my events, now I don't have my camera on right now because I'm just going to write test. When I do my events and I do my live stream podcast, I start the recording. It's me and my guest. And then I go in to start the streaming and I name it and I'm going to name it test. And then I click this button here for Restream and then it starts streaming. And a matter of fact, I will just do it because I have no fear. So I'll start streaming and then I'll show you what it looks like. So we'll come over here to my account because all the things are talking to all the things, right? So you link that platform to your Restream's pieces and it just makes it very smooth process to go live stream. And so right now I am running a test. I am teaching a class. So if you're watching me live, yes, it's just my name. I know the camera's not on. It's not a mistake. It's just a test. So I'm sharing with you that it'll show in the headline, that main top card where your backdrop normally lives is where your live stream will live while it's actually streaming for people to join it. Now, when we stop the stream, bye everyone, and thank you for joining us for our amusing little test. And I may even delete and pull this down later after we get off, but I'm going to stop streaming. And then when I go back into LinkedIn, a couple of cool things happen. One of the cool things, and I can't wait for this to generate to show you, so I'll show you on an old video, but if you go into show all activity, then you can see this is still kind of rendering, so I'm going to give it a minute. But if I went into this one, this is a previous live video. And by the way, I come in here and I edit that says live with Restream. I edit it to say the show that it really was with the guest. And then you can come into the show itself. And this is us sitting here waiting for the video to start correctly. So you can edit this video. So let me pause this video, edit this video, and then I can play it. And then when I get to the point where I say, hello, everybody, right? In a second, you'll hear that. Let's see. What number are we at?
So, hello, everyone. Hi,
So
I'm your host,
17
Jessica
so
Koch. This is
17
another
seconds.
Profound Professional interview series. You know we've been doing this.
17
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm your host,
I'm gonna
Jessica
click
Koch.
trim.
This is another Profound.
Okay, so now I was able.
So, hello, everyone. Hi,
So-
I'm your host,
sorry.
Jessica.
So I was able to play that video, find out where I needed to cut it, then trim it, again, get it to that spot, hit the word trim, and then it made it so that it cleaned it up. Because whenever you live stream and interface into a platform, it says it's streaming, but it doesn't click in right away, right? So you always have to like edit that teeny bit in the beginning there. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, I would just say to you, this is super cool because when I have my guests here, I can add in the chat, I can add amazing guest. And then I can come here and feature that and it comes right up on the screen. So that shows when we go live stream. So I can put like their name and their intro sentence and their website. And I can also do other things like I can pull media in, and in our interview live seamlessly, if I've uploaded it in advance, I can drop an image, or I can play a video, right? So I can also do something called Web Popper, where I can, in advance, I can go ahead and share my client's website, right? And take them right into it live where I can scroll and interface with it. Like there's all kinds of really cool tools in this platform, which is why I use it and integrate it in my live streaming, because I'm featuring and interviewing guests. And I put all of the amazing links to many of those resources in the chat. So if you're kind, you might consider using my links if you play with those tools, even if you get the free version, because a lot of them have the free version. I still kind of get kudos points and tracking that it shows you came through because I was kind enough to tell you about the tools that I share. Now it still seems to think we're live, but we really aren't live anymore. So I'm going to exit this.
So Jessica, I have a question about the business page.
Okay. Let me stop.
Uh,
sharing.
So I've had a business page on LinkedIn for a number of years, and I've reached out to LinkedIn. As you mentioned earlier, it's hard to get a hold of anybody, or I've sent them emails and everything. I have problems with people subscribing to my business page, or that I don't want to subscribe to my business page, and LinkedIn has never told me how to block them. They just come out of the blue. I'd say over like 60% or more of my people who subscribe to my business page or like my business page are people I don't want to like my business page. They're from all over the world in very strange places and very strange names. And so when I want to get a true customer, true client to connect to my business page, they go out there and look at the 3,000 or more people and see all these strange names and strange places they come from. They might not follow through on it because they'll think, well, what is this?
Well, are they, what do you mean by subscribe? Do you mean they're followers?
Well, I mean, yeah, followers. Yeah, I mean,
Well, if they're just followers of the page, there's nothing you can do. But if they're trying to say that they're an employee of yours, then now that's
no. I mean, yeah, it's a major problem. And I don't know, LinkedIn. I mean, let me ask you this: how many people follow your business page, and do you want everyone that you see following your business page to actually follow your business page?
Followers are one of those things you can't really control. I mean, I don't know how many people are following my business page, and I don't really track who they are, whether I want them to or not, because it's kind of irrelevant. That's why the group is more controllable. So you can control who enters your group and who that community is. So then you have a real feel for the community. Your community is in your group. People, I mean, can follow whatever they want. They can follow company pages, they can follow universities and schools, they can follow whatever they want, but can't get into a group unless the group admin allows them in. So that's
okay. And then, well, the other thing about a business page I've learned over the years, that's something that I like to share with people, share with you, and you may know about this already, that for targeting, and so I post something on my business page, and it asks you if you want to just post it for everyone to see, or do you want to target the audience? If you have 300 or more people from a particular university or group, or that you can target those posts to that subset, but the rule is you need at least 300 followers from that group to be on your business page to target them. I found that to be very useful.
That's good advice. Thank you for that, Michael.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Melissa, did you have fun?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing a follow-up because I heard that you said your virtual assistant program can do all of this for us. So I'll be emailing you.
It's good to have a support team. For sure.
Yes, for sure.
Good.
Thank you, Jessica. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. That was awesome information. Does anybody have any more questions?
Well, I just wanted to add something about AI, and I'm just share with people that if anybody has a YouTube channel and has videos on their YouTube channel with music, they can now, I'm creating scripts with ChatGPT. Write me a script to describe this castle. And it will write me a script immediately. Take that script, I put it into a voice generator, AI voice generator, and it picks a British man and woman, Irish man or Irish woman, and it'll produce an audio file of that speaker describing the castle. And now I've got that added to my YouTube videos, which is fantastic. It's making my job a lot easier.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, in the beginning, I usually give an introduction about MCE and the Women's Business Center, but I know Jessica has a lot to talk about, and I wanted her to try to get it all in. And I know some people have to jump off; they're on their lunch break. So, but just to give you some information about us, in case you're not familiar with us, we assist entrepreneurs that are getting started in business, or if you're already in business and trying to expand. We do business consulting, marketing consulting, one-on-one mentoring, training classes such as this. We also do small business loans. So if we can be of assistance, please reach out to us. I put my contact information in the chat. And you can also find us on marylandcapital.org. So stay tuned for upcoming classes. Next week we have a lunch and learn in person in Ocean City at the Chamber. So for those of you that can join us, that is on search engine optimization. And then on the 24th, we have First Steps of Starting Your Own Business, which is a webinar for those who are just getting started. So we have some new things coming up in June, which I'll be posting this week. So stay tuned for those. And thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it. Even though it's so nice outside, but we have to get the knowledge when we can, right?
So
Thank you, Jessica.
I think they were asking Michael to share the name of the voice, AI voice generator in the chat before we hang up. So if he,
I didn't
Well, I
see
think
that.
it's called, I can do that. Let's see here. It's VOVO, but I don't know the website, but I think that's the name of the voice generator. That's why I type in VOVO, and I get it.
Okay.
It's like $20 a month, which is a bargain to me. I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a great day.
bye, everybody.
Thank you.
See ya. Thank you, Jessica. You did a great job as always.